the more years I do this, the less I know, but the more exciting it is, because you get to see results. Grapevine lives a long time, outlive me and you. It's fun to watch them mature, and they change. And just like the environment around them changes, it's always new. You know, people think, well, farmers do the same thing day in and day out. Well, we do, but it's different every day.
We're running an expo. We're just running just for training. Where you want to go?
When I started making pottery, it took me about maybe 5 years to really even care about the pot, oddly enough. I loved making things, just making things. It was just the form and the feeling of the clay.
I think it's something to do with the blending of mechanics and artfulness and just single-minded devotion to making something beautiful.
I don't really have an ear to play, but I can hear a piece of wood when it vibrates. I can tell how thick and thin, you know, to make it vibrate that much.
Just finding that intrinsic satisfaction of working with that glass and what you can do and how you can mold it, and you can't bend it, but you can shape it and making it fit. I'm finally learning to make things fit. But I like everything about glass. I like the way it feels, I like the textures in it, I like the colors in it. And I love taking a plain pattern and then making those colors come alive.
Color. It's all about the color and the play of light. The brilliant way that the sun hits colors and makes them change and pop. You know, I love the tactile part of the pottery and getting my hands in the clay and sculpting with clay and turning the clay. And then I enjoy the fiber arts. I love to wear my art, and so I like to make quilted jackets and the contrast of colors and the textures you get from fabrics too.
You know, you have to really look at your grain patterns on that piece of wood. For example, if you're cutting a regular bowl blank out, you're looking at the end of the log, you'll have the pith, which is the very center of the tree. That tree could have grown on a hillside. You'll have real tight grain, and you'll have real loose grain. And when you cut that wood, you have to be real careful on how you cut that, or you'll never get a finished product out of it because it'll bust. You know, that's something that you learn as you go.
When I started, you should have seen the first glaze I ever made. I did everything by trial and error. I read a couple of books in the beginning and I ditched them. And I figured out that if you put one glaze on, it looked okay. If you put two on, it looked better. And if the third glaze would stick, it would look even better. So now you simply go in like that. Take the excess off and put it down. Now that is now ready for tomorrow. It will get its third and final coat.
Machine tools are handy to save work. Makes your job just a little bit easier if you can saw part of it off rather than having to sand it or whittle it off. and that kind of thing. But when it gets right down to the really important part, the very last finishing, shaping stuff, it's always done by hand.
As I was spinning with different types of fibers, really enjoyed working with the alpaca. They're a very gentle, very sweet animal. They're very intelligent. They've got unique personalities, so you get to know them individually, to work with them and their own personalities. And they're just a very peaceful animal.
I enjoy where my fiber comes from because of my animals. They are Cotswolds, Lincolns, and Leicester Longwools. They're all old English breeds, probably foundation stock for a lot of the present-day sheep. The lambs will take off and they'll run the farm. They'll run over the near the pond and up and down and up and down, and it's like they're playing follow the leader. And it's like a wave of lambs. It's beautiful.
Yeah, I find the biggest thing is just taking your time and making sure you're doing each part just right. And that should do it. In a few hours, that'll be ready to unclamp, and then I can clean off the sides and trim it all to shape and start sanding it and be ready to finish.